the way you live your life is the result of the words that you know and how you define them. I remember almost 3 years ago, I was in a mastermind with some friends of mine. Yes, it's really important to have a mastermind, a group of friends that you share like the same vision and that you want to improve yourself and create like amazing things in the world. And we were talking about goal setting. We were setting our goals for the month, and when it came to my turn, I became so hesitant. I didn't know what to say, although I've prepared myself and I knew exactly what I was going to work on that month, but I just couldn't speak. I was like, I don't know, let me think again, because at that time the goal that I was working on was to hit 500 euros a month, like with an extra income from the different things that I was involved with. But I was so hesitant, and then I said 300, and then after the meeting I really looked at it. I was like, why was I so hesitant? Why did I not say what I planned earlier that I'm going to do? And looking into that, I realized that I was afraid to say that I'm going to work on making 500 euros extra, because if I said that, those people are going to then judge me by those words. But next month they will ask me, okay, how did it go? Then if I did not hit it, I will feel bad. So I realized that, oh, so this is the reason why I did not want to say that, because I was afraid that I'm not going to live up to what I say, to my words. And this really comes down to this. You've probably heard it. He's a man of his words, meaning when he says something, he does it. And this is the power of words, because people are going to judge you with what you say. What you say is what you get. Maybe you have heard that as well. And this is something very important, because nowadays the only thing that really connects us is what I say and what you say to me. If you say something to me and then you break that commitment, this is how I'm going to judge you. I'm going to say, oh, that person, when they say something, they never do it, you can count on them. And then people are going to say, oh, you can count on that person, because anything that they say, they actually never do it. So this is actually why it's so important to not only the words that you're using on your day-to-day basis with other people, but with what you are using with yourself. Because like I said earlier, if you tell me that I'm gonna come to your place at 3 p.m. and then at 3 p.m. you don't show up, then I'm gonna say, that guy is you can count on him. When they say something, they never do it. This is the commitment that you're having with other people, with your words that you're using. Then the most important one, which is actually having the biggest impact on you, is the one that you use with yourself. Because if, for example, you say, oh, I'm going to wake up today at 6 p.m. and at 6 p.m. you don't wake up, you have broken a commitment with yourself. That means inside of you, unconsciously, you don't trust yourself anymore that you can say something and actually do it. So that's why you're going to see, the moment you break a commitment, you say something for yourself that you're going to do, you don't do it, it's going to affect you in all your life in so many aspects. And today I was going through a notes. It's from the Global Information Network, from Kevin Trader, if you know him. He spent in this lesson an entire course. It's called The Science of Success Mastery. For those who are in the gym, I highly suggest to check this out. He spent an entire lesson just talking about the power of words. So this is how important this is, like the power of words. What you say is what you get. That's why it's just so fundamental to pay attention with the words that you're using, the words that you're saying to yourself, and most importantly is, how do you define your words? Because words are one thing, but the way you define your words is another thing. Because the way you define them is then actually the way you live those words. It's then actually the way you process and comprehend those words. Because if for you, for example, money means broke or hard, difficult, like only crook people, only like bad people get it, then this is how you're going to live these words. If, for example, you say, oh, I am confident, like how do you live that on the day-to-day basis? Who are you on your day-to-day basis when you are walking around? Are you actually expressing that confidence or not? Because some people think sometimes that the way you use words or express yourself is by thinking like, oh yes, I'm confident. That's not actually who you are. That's not actually the way you live the word. That's not actually the way you express yourself when that word is really integrated inside of you on an unconscious level. Because sometimes people just memorize words, but what you actually need to do is to internalize it. It has to become part of you. Just like your name. Your name is part of you. You don't walk around and say, oh, my name is Viany, my name is Viany, my name is Viany. No, you don't do that. You just know it. It's just like part of you. And that's where you have to get. So that's also why you need to be learning constantly. You need to be improving your vocabulary constantly. You need to be learning new stuff constantly, because that's the more words you have, the more of being you can do, the more you can create, the more stuff you can do. That's also why when you look, for example, a doctor, they have spent so many years learning just about this vocabulary, and it just defines who they are now. So, same for a lawyer, same for an accountant. So you can see how the more words you can learn and really express them like on an unconscious level, the better your life is going to become. That's the power of the words. And if you like this content, just subscribe and mostly share it with other people, because you don't really know who you are going to be helping by just sending them this link, right? You never know. So take care. Bye bye.